Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to my rail route endless mode here on the Netherlands map. I am just working on my little regional network here. I'm going to start some trains moving so that we can have some progress going along here. So there we go, another experience point there. But I'm trying to speed up tracks at this point is where my focus is. Whoops. Let's see, I need to go to Eindhoven 3. So that is there. So don't want to slow him down, because yeah, he's the one that's going around here to Rosendale and so forth. So a little bit of an error there. But you can see we're going from Maastricht to Eindhoven to Roosendaal, back to Eindhoven, and then on to Venlo, heading out the same way that we had here. So if you've not seen Rail Route before, this is still an early access game, but there's a lot that's available. It's been around for a while. I've been poking at it for, I don't know, it might be coming up on a year at this point. I'm not sure. It's been a bit. It's certainly been probably 6 months or so forth, on and off. And this series is just really me progressing in about half-hour chunks, and not live streaming, but basically probably the closest thing I've got to a live stream type of experience on the channel of anything, where most things I'll cut out comments here and there, or I'll skip things. But unless there's some major catastrophe here, like we're just playing along and you're seeing what I'm doing, you know, in real time as I recorded it, and I just basically pop the video out there. So I'm just trying to have some steady content here and there. It seems to be getting a little bit of traction. I've seemed to have 10-20 people that view these things every time they come out, so there's a small following that is going on, but nobody's really commenting, so anything that you have to say, certainly feel free to do so. I read every comment and try to respond as quickly as I can. Sometimes I'll just say thank you, but you know, I will try to engage, because always happy for anybody that spends any portion of their time exploring what I've got to offer here on the channel. Encourage you to look around. There's a lot here. So, there's some contracts, and I think it's this one that, well, any of these I'm really focusing on. There's some I thought there was some $12,000 ones somewhere. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, well, a bunch of $8,000 ones, so. But either way, now this one probably doesn't make a lot of sense, so it's just really short. So let's see. So that one's Maastricht. Yeah, so it's just literally up here and back. And, you know, I'm probably going to end up with just 2,000 for it. So I'm going to go ahead and decline this so that we can get something a little bit more. Because if I look at my active contracts at this point, you know, I've still got some lingering contracts from the original start of this endless series. This one's pretty close, because you can see I've done 10 out of 5 trains, but it's not a poor paying contract, so certainly worth keeping around. But eventually, if I start getting conflicts, I'll eliminate these, but that's why I don't want to take anything at the $2,000 level, because I've already got some, and there's certainly an opportunity now to do better than that. So we've got 11,000. Let's see. The purple is the 80 kilometer per hour track. The blue is still the older 40. So I'm trying to figure out. So yeah, let me upgrade Haarlem here. Let's see. Why will that not? There we go. All right. So we'll do that and that. Can I do that? No, so I only have 3600, but I can do that switch and that switch. There we go. So now we've got that entire switching section updated, so anything going through there should be in pretty good shape. So our biggest platform that has activity is Venlo, and as we can see right now, I'm going to speed things up to at least 15 times, because we are at a point right now where there's just not a lot going on in that section. Oh, definitely don't want this. Only worth 1,000, and again, I'm only going to get about half because I still can't get up to top speed there. So this is Hurlin to Nimjin, and I think this was one. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this. So we're going to put this in, and we're going to start mixing this into the mix, because again, with nothing specific going on here, we should be in pretty good shape to get up where we need. So that'll get us there, and then I'll hold until I'm certain that we're good there. But now, you know, the way a contract works, you've got this trial train that's basically going to set the timing, the platforms, and so forth. Whoops. Did I? Yeah, shoot. Alright, so I need to reverse him. So there we go. So that's going to waste a bit of time because I sped things up a bit too much, and then I made a mistake. So this just goes right back here. Whoops. I don't want to reverse that. I want this one to go this way. So somehow I think when I hit the reverse button, I had the wrong thing selected. But at this point, that's why Nimjin and Hurlin are not showing up with any time. It just tells me it's going to stop for a minute. So this is going to get going now. And then, you know, nothing is coming along here because this will just pass through here. So we should be fine. The only possibility could be the return trip. The return leg might be a possible conflict. But let's move things along so that we're in good shape. Now I think I'll be okay. It's going to be close because the problem is they're both going to be waiting in the station at the same time. So this might not work out as nicely as I wanted. You know, because I've got just one track here, and that's something I can eventually do, is create multiple tracks so that I don't have this kind of bottleneck experience. Because, okay, so the good news is this is going to wait an extra minute, so I might be okay, because what I can do then is route him through, route him back to here, because if I go any other way, it's going to stop at additional stations. So this is where it's one of the benefits. Like this is literally a direct route, where, you know, I think this one was a, you know, came from Maastricht and then went to Roosendaal, and Venlo is what it really wanted, but because I have to go through Eindhoven, there's no way to do it in between. You know, it creates this problem where things are running into each other. So now this is going to be the biggest thing here. So I need it to be clear of this switch, which it will be. So yes, this will work out nicely. It's going to be, you know, a bit of a tight squeeze, certainly, in that I've got to route it appropriately. So I'm playing on update 13. That's the latest update. You can see that down here in the corner, version 1.13. And there was a little bit of a hot fix. I think certain things, I think this was not coming up when you lost focus on a train. So I think that was kind of the major update that I've noticed that was useful to me, because there's a lot of things that come out where I'm not pushing the envelope or I'm not doing that type of thing yet, and so forth. So there's a lot to this game potentially. They've still got a lot of things planned. I think they're looking to try to really improve the shunting experience and so forth, which I've not... I think there's some stuff in here, but I've not tried that yet because I just haven't gotten anything that comes up that asks me to do that yet. And I'm sure some of that is just because we haven't unlocked certain upgrades. So there's a couple modes. There's 3 modes in the game. Probably one of my favorites is timetable. I've got some things out on the channel about those, so you can look for rail route timetable examples. Let's see, this one looks like it's a low cost. So it's literally the same thing, but I'm just going to get 2,000. I'm going to decline that. Okay, this one's definitely worth taking a look at. But again, it's just trying to figure out when does it make sense? Because see, I've got all this coming in. So I think right now is going to be the wrong time to pull that in. That's interesting. Or is this the one that I'm working? Because I'm like, looks like this a very similar contract, or maybe it is just the same thing, just from that location. Alright, so this one looks complicated because it's going... Yeah, it's going to have to pass through other things, so we're going to pass on that. Roosendaal to Maastricht. Might be worth hanging on. This one certainly is not worth hanging on. And then we've got this. So Venlo, and because we're going to have to stop at Eindhoven again, there's some challenges there. Alright, well, let's let this go. We're going to get our contract then at the end here. So let's see. Only 3,500. I wonder why. I'm going to turn that down. What am I missing? Let's see. Everything's at high speed. I just wonder if it's... Until I get to 120, I'm just not going to get that. So yeah, there's a little bit of the challenge right now. You get in these points. Everything's still manual signaling, which requires a lot of effort on my part, certainly a lot of monitoring. And I would think, you know, there's a temptation to start going further out, but then I just have more... Sorry, I think I banged the microphone. But there's just the challenge of you're dealing with all that manually, and I don't think that makes sense. So I think I just need to kind of let the network run for a while, as is, maybe, and that's maybe what I do for the rest of the time here, is just really move things along so that I can get some balance up and start putting in some auto signals. Whoops. Alright, so this is going Heerlen to Eindhoven. 3, whoops, we're going there, there. Alright, so this was one that I had at one point. And so we see Venlo 2 is the next one. So this is a nice screen. I think it's something, if I recall, that was added in Update 12. That basically lets us very clearly, with much more bold and visible icons, see, like, my next 3 trains coming in are coming in on this platform here. And then we know what the situation is, and kind of the when. So there we go. So this goes up here. So it's going to head that way, and then come back down. So this train now is going to go to Roosendaal. So we just need to route him there, and that will work. And again, so you can see we've got just a lot going on these platforms. So, yeah, so there's like a label stood up there. I didn't click on anything when I went up there, but so it just gets a little confusing and sloppy to some degree. Whoops. Need to get it on the track. Alright. And so it sounded like something was making noise, but no, I think I'm just mistaken. And then we're going to get another one coming in pretty quick here. Alright, so this now is going to Hirlin. So I believe the way I routed this was then through here. And then once this gets in the platform, because you can see he's moving now, and we're going to have another one coming in very quickly. But he goes and starts making this same loop. So he's going to go here, and then he's ultimately going to want to come back. So there we go. But then in the interim, I believe this one passes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop. Shoot. Alright. Just got to be careful, because otherwise I lose. Ay, ay, ay. I am doing a bad job in routing right now, I'll tell you that. So I think we've got it all. We do. Alright. Fix this. So this is exactly my point of why I need some auto signals. So this one's going here to Eindhoven 3. So I need to clear him before he also gets stuck. He's going to get stuck if I'm not careful. Alright. A little too much happening. So my whole goal of make some money is going to turn into a whole lot of nothing if I'm not careful. Alright. So I think this one is leaving. No, I'm not sure where I got. Oh, because Hirlin was just a pass out, I think. And so now this one's going down to Hirlin as well and heading out, so we can do that. They are going to Eindhoven. Interesting. Now, do they both leave at the same time? They do. So this one is, yeah, I didn't remember these being that close, but basically, oh, he's leaving. Never mind. Hey, I'm just confused. I was like, wait, they're gonna be conflicting, but no problem. So, alright, we're gonna have something come on track 2 there, so you can see 2-2, and then we've got a train coming into Maastricht. Okay, so this one goes to Eindhoven 3. And so, full disclosure, it's been a while since I've played at any depth here. So I'm even suddenly like second guessing myself on the auto signals. I think until I have route queuing and stuff, it gets a little more challenging. You know, and obviously once you get the auto switching and the automation, that's one thing as well. So let me take a look at the upgrades. Oops, that's right. Sorry, they changed the interface a bit. So I still think inner city is something I want to wait until I have 120 track at least somewhere, so that I can pick inner cities from going through. So here we go. You've got the auto signal that I can have. See, but I get a routing queue there. And so I'm half tempted to keep storing things until there. I don't need more stations yet, so I don't need to do the dispatcher. And I need higher speed tracks. So see, I'm just in this need of getting things done, because that's right, we updated all the interface options. So if you've played, it's been a while since you played Rail Route, you're going to notice the upgrade menu and the technology tree changed substantially. Okay, so this is then going through to Venlo 1. He is going, because I think this is the one that comes in and goes to this station and then comes right on back, if I recall. So Venlo 1 is going to be my next train, and then we're going to have Maastricht 7 minutes later. Shoot. Alright. Should be fine. I mean, I don't lose any money for what I'm doing there. But yeah, what I want to do is certainly, let's see, is it going to let me? So I'm trying to figure out in the interface how I change the signal, because this one I'm less familiar with. I don't want to rotate. Alright, let me figure this out. So I think I've got it. So when you go in the build menu, there's the menu down here. So this shows me what I can do. So if I pick an auto signal, like now you can see I can change this to an auto signal. And it's the difference in price. So the game is nice in that it doesn't penalize you for things because, you know, you're doing a bunch of different things. So I think I'm going to put another one. Wait a minute. Why? Oh, it's 8,000. I was reading 6,000. So, all right. So I think I've done everything I can, but it doesn't penalize you for building slowly, like, hey, I didn't wait to put in an auto signal. It's always just the price difference for the most part. All right, now this goes back here and here. And see, so the benefit of an auto signal would be you're just kind of clicking. So we'll take a look because we're going to have something coming in here. So I'll be able to demonstrate it with this train coming in on Venlo 1 in the next few seconds. So we still put him here. But then we have to go to Eindhoven 3 and see now I can just pick all the other things and then it sets everything. And what it then also does is it adjusts any of the switches. So like all the clicking I have to do here, which is why my next auto signal is going to be there. And I may actually just change that right now because that is going to be a big bang for the buck as things come through. Because like when I'm coming down here to Heerlen and Maastricht and all that, coming back the other way, like all of that is going to benefit from those auto signals. Now, alright, so I lost some money just because it was not as profitable. I think I had some crazy trains going. Nothing to do with Ozzy Osbourne, but there was a lot happening where I was making a good amount of money in the previous hour of game time that just isn't now. So again, like now I can go here, and now because this is manual, I'm going to have to wait. But the nice thing then with route queuing is I could do some other things. So what I really need is a freight train. I need to get some red points. Alright, this needs other platforms, so that's right now absolutely an automatic dump. So I need to just get rid of things until I get some freights, but I kind of don't want to cut off my nose to spite my face. See, like this one's still really good. I think I'll keep the Maastricht one. That one's decent too, but it's not decent enough. And similarly, alright. Because that way we'll start getting a bunch of new contracts, but I need these red experience points to get certain system upgrades. So now I can fix that. But now we're kind of at the point where we're going to have things down here. So he comes in on one. See, and if I had an auto, so like all these switches here, if I had an auto signal down here, I would just click and go on the platform and it would all fix it for me. Where now I have to do those 3 switches myself, which just gets to be a bit of a problem. Alright, so contracts are coming in. Alright, so Heerlen's coming in at 32. Really? I don't have any trains coming in for the next half hour? So this is like a perfect time to do things. Alright, and then he's going to Roosendahl, so same thing. Like, all of these things that are manual, like the auto signal is a big quality of life change. Alright, so Harlan, again, it's a commuter. It's a decent one, but not what I need. I really want a freight. Alright, these are all commuter. That's commuter. Goodness. Alright. So let's just keep going. Wait for the little bloop for contracts. And then we'll just obviously have to see. Whoops. Alright, so he's going to reverse now and go right back to Eindhoven 3. So that's the one I had messed up with before, because he only sits here, you know, till 16, and then he's moving back. Alright, so no new contracts. There we go. One popped up there. What's that? It is a freight, but darn, I need... See, I need platforms. I really don't want to buy a platform. Plus, I don't think I frankly have money, so... yeah, so this is a little bit of what starts to happen is, you know, now I'm waiting for the right contract for my network. So now you'll see here, like I need to go to Venlo 1 as the next thing. You can see that down here. So now I just do that, and then if I had multiple things, I could queue them up, and then you'll start to see numbers over the signals that show that, hey, I've got commands waiting to be executed there. Alright, so Harlan's going to come in, but once again, it's just not going to be for a while. So the network is just really quiet at this point, because we've cleared out our trains in this space. So let's see, another commuter. I'm just moving along to another commuter. Another commuter. Where'd that one come up? Another commuter. Alright, so now we've got him back. Again, all of these automatic manual switches, you know, the one upgrade we did shows us what the, kind of gives us the preview of the manual so we can see things are set right. This is a commuter as well. So we'll see if we get lucky and get to at least get a freight that comes up. Alright, so we are getting into the little bit busier time. So this again goes to Herkton, Bosch. So we're already circling around, like we've, you know, kind of been doing some of these already. So this goes to Roosendahl. So Venlo 1 is where, you know, we're going to start with a bunch of these. Alright. Another freight, but we need another thing. Alright, so that's the other thing. Alright, so the green ones, like our commuters, if it shows up with a red arrow, we know we've got a freight, is what that is. So that's nice to know. So that's part of the interface that I was not aware of. So that's nice to see. But we're just going to keep declining these, so it helps me now. I can go quicker because I know they're commuter. Alright, so this is going to be a great example. So you can see this switch is not set, this one's not set to where I need. But with an auto signal, I just do that, and it takes care of everything. So it just makes it super simple to operate your network kind of in this manual mode, if you can do that, because it's just going to set a bunch of things. Alright, another freight. Alright, so this one looks like I can take it. So we've got to go from Roosendahl back, so I am going to hold on to this one, because obviously I don't want to take it now because I've got this train here. But I should be able to take it relatively quickly after everything comes through. So I'm going to run this a little bit longer So this one's coming through to Haarlem. So this is the one I run over here, I think, is what my plan was. So I'm going to run this episode a bit longer, so maybe we can at least accept... No, actually, I didn't even need to do that, see, because now I could have just done this, but I'm still not used to having auto signals on my network. So it's confusing me a bit. I still want other freights, so I'm not going to entertain any commuters right now. Alright, so they're going to come back, and they're going to go to Eindhoven. And he's going back to Venlo eventually. I think pretty quickly. So yeah, here we're going to go here. Again, with the auto, it's super simple. And then, you know, now I need to flip all these. So I'm almost thinking this is my next upgrade of an auto signal. I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to change that. That gets me as much as I can there. And now here is where I need to be set. And there we go. And yes, I always have... the way that's scheduled, I have no choice. I probably want to upgrade this one too, because this is a bit challenging. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to accept... Oh, you know what? It's got... Ooh, I can't... Gosh, I can't do that because it's going to sit there. Oh, it's just passing, though. So wait a minute. Alright, let me take a look here. Because this is going to leave... So yeah, I've got to wait because he's coming from Venlo and then sitting in Roosendaal for a while. I almost need another platform, so I think I'm going to have to plan that one out a little bit. Whoops. This one's going to Eindhoven 3, so once again with the auto, that will make it a little easier. But yeah, I think I need to plan this out a little bit better. And then again, this goes down to Haarlem. Whoops. And he's going there. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it here, because I know I've gone a little bit long. But we've got things staged, as long as I don't forget between now and the next time I get into play. But we've got some things staged of where we want to go that should put us in a pretty good spot to make some progress. But again, we've added 3 auto signals into the network, so there's been some progress in this episode. There usually is always a little bit, but it's just a matter of what can you do. And you know, I think we tried to add a train, but the contract just didn't work out for us. So hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.